Oh, that just splashed in my eye. My lovely, long, luxurious eyelashes. At the tip, minced, sliced, chopped, diced, walloped down to small size. Bad boy. Lemon, nutmeg, bosh. Excuse me, sir. Can you please vacate the premises? Plumps up quite a lot, doesn't it? Be happy. No. Be lucky. Can't be lucky. So, I'm going to cook a couscous thing. I went to Cornwall the other week. I haven't put anything up in ages. Any videos, because I've been on holiday and sorting out going on holiday and loads of other bits and pieces. I went to Cornwall with the girlfriend's family, but we stopped off in Devon on the way down there, and I cooked a nice belated anniversary spread for us. She had this couscous that has loads of fresh herby flavours and some tomato, onion, some chillies and cucumber. Missing chillies, cucumber, and we're also going to need salt and pepper. No cooking apart from boiling water, boil the kettle, and couscous, 500 grams of couscous. This is what I just store in, so I'm just going to put the water in there. But I thought, oh, a lot of crap in here. Juicer, lemonade. It's a good one for knife skills, because there's a lot of prep work and dicing. I thought we'd go over some basics. Couscous, 500 grams of couscous, boiled water. Just cover it pretty much. Like that, that'll do. Touch more. And cover it. So if you ain't doing it in Tupperware, put it in something that you can put some cling film over and just leave that to one side. Now, let's get this on. Got two cameras, might as well use them. Is that recording? That's recording. Right, so now we just need to prep a load of veggie sort of stuff. So, get yourself 2 bowls, right? Because we're going to slice and dice a load of stuff and put it in there. So that can go to one side. This is called compost bowl. It's really handy for putting all the crap that's going to end up in the bin or in your compost. I would compost. I don't compost. I live in a 5th floor flat. I haven't got anywhere to compost. All the crap you don't need go in there, and then chuck it all away at the end, so I can keep going back and forward to the bin all the time. So I'm going to start. 1 red onion. This is a bit manky, but it's all I've got. I'm going to trim off the manky looking bit. In the compost bowl. So everything you want in this, you want it to be really nicely finely diced, because couscous, as you may or may not know, is tiny. Well, that's normal couscous is. You can buy giant couscous, so that's a different show, as Mr. Brown would say. Knife, pinch it there. Oh, God, yeah. If you hold a knife like that, it's all floppy and wobbly and stuff. Some people like to pinch there. I like to pinch the actual back of the blade, and I've just got so much more control thingy, to the point where I actually get a callus there. But nice sharp knife. Oh yeah, because the couscous is really small. You want everything. You don't want a big massive chunk of tomato and parsley and coriander and whatnot. It likes little bits of couscous. So onion. Always keep your fingertips pulled back and your thumb back, but just gently, slowly. Get good, then get quick. I think Gordon Ramsay says that. But yeah, slowly work your way along, keeping the root on. I mean, most people, this method of chopping onion is not exactly new. But work within your comfort. And the last bit, you hold it together like that so you can be careful. Then, fingers back, thumb back, just work your way through it. Trying to keep it consistently nice and small. And when you get that last bit, you can just tip it over and then just work your way through it that way. So you've got another flat surface. And you can just keep dicing it down. That's what you should have left in the bin. So, one thing I would say is well worth getting hold of, board scraper. Especially if you're doing a lot of prep work like this, it just makes your life so much easier being able to pick everything up like this. A lot of people, you see a lot of chefs use the side of their knife. Yeah, it's not great for your knife, it's not great for your fingers, especially if you miss. And that's got a much smaller surface area than that has. So yeah, and they're not expensive. Get them on Amazon for £5 at the most. Well, you probably spend a lot on them if you want. Some people were idiots, but yeah, I'll put a link to that one in the description. Amazon affiliate link. I'm going to start putting Amazon affiliate links in all of my videos to the stuff that I use. I'm not associated with anyone. Like, this is a really nice Mercer knife that I've got. I bought it myself. I wouldn't recommend it if I don't like using it myself. But I figured if it's worth using, I'll give you a, well, not professional opinion, but send you a link to it, and then if you want it, you can get it, and I'll kick back a few quid, maybe, well, pence. In the bowl we go. Next, I'll do a couple of tomatoes. These are nice, fresh, vine-ripened tomatoes. They're quite big, so I'm just going to do the two. The van. What I don't want, no, is all of the wet, juicy stuff from the inside. And while I'm here, I might as well do the other one. So these, again, I like to go through the middle and then turn it over. And then just, sometimes I want to get rid of that bit because that can be a bit overly chewy. Just work your way across like that. And then small, knock that one down again, and then bosh. Another pro tip: damp tea towel underneath your chopping board to stop it from slipping around all over the place, and then another tea towel to wipe your hands on, because a tomatoey hands. Right, next I want a couple of red chillies. Can go for the green ones, but I prefer to cook with the green ones because they're a bit bitterer. I like cooking with them. They're not as fruity raw as the red ones are. So these aren't overly spicy, these chillies, but I do still want to de-seed them because the seeds are just a bit bitter. Skip the chilli by all means if you're not don't like the spice. If you do like the spice and you can get hold of them, by all means upgrade to some jalapenos, bird's eye chilies even. Scotch bonnet would be quite nice if you really like your spice because they've got quite a nice floral, zesty flavour to them. Don't know if I'd go finger chilies. They're again more of a cooking chili in my opinion, not a raw chili. Again, same as with the onion and the tomato, even more so with the chili because you don't want a big old chunk of chili in your gob. Then I'm going for 2 of these because, like I said, they're not particularly spicy and I quite like a bit of heat. But by all means, go for 1 or none. You want everything roughly the same size just so you can evenly distribute it all. If you've got some stuff that's big chunks and they'll sit on the top while all the couscous rolls around to the bottom. Next, the last main constituent, cucumber. I want about that much cucumber. Let me go through the tip, down the middle. Right, what we don't want of these is the seeds again, for the same reason that we don't want the tomatoes, but also slightly less so. It's that cucumber seeds, surprisingly wet as well. We should have just scraped that out. Just want the quote unquote meat of the cucumber. So we've got some heat from the chilli, a bit of heat and acid, I don't know what to say, the oniony bite from the onion, a bit of sweetness from the tomato. Now we're getting some freshness in there from the cucumber. Just want it nice and lightly diced, keeping it all similarly sized. Hasn't got to be utter perfection, but you don't want that in there. That's just, it's going to ruin the experience. But you haven't got to be super OCD about it. We're not working in some classical French kitchen. Yeah, so this goes nice. This is great for barbecues. Right, instead of just like your mundane normal bit of salad on the side, whack this together. Next, leave the lemon till last. Put some mint, coriander, and some parsley. Parsley's going to bring a load of freshness. The mint is going to bring that minty flavour that undercuts everything. Mint and chilli work brilliantly together. Coriander and chilli work brilliantly together. But coriander works really well, surprisingly, with cucumber as well. So, right, what you want, I've got big old paws. So I want one of my sort of size handfuls of cucumber. This is parsley, flat leaf parsley, right? Don't need to be too precious about the stalks, but anything that's particularly big, you might want to get rid of, just because it can be a bit woody, and the flavour can be a bit over the top. This is really you want fresh herbs for this. This is a nice, light, fresh, refreshing, salady sort of thing. You don't want dried herbs just ruining the party. Roll it all over, make a little cigar, and then work your way across it once, just to kind of whack it down to size. And just kind of mound it all back up again. Knife tip on the board. 2 or 3 fingers, depending on the size of your fingers. I've got the tomato left on there. Just holding the top of the knife still. And then just keep that point on the board, and then just work your way. Move it around here and there. And you mound it up again, just so it isn't all over your board. And then just fingers. Keep your little finger out of the way. Do be careful, because if you're rocking the knife here, I don't know if you can see that on here that well. You don't want your little finger to get under there. I've done that before, rather than that point will go down. If your little finger gets under there, you can do yourself to mischief. So yeah, keep whatever fingers aren't chopping up above the spine of the knife. Board scraper in there. For the other herbs, about half what you put into the parsley. I quite like a bit of coriander, so I'm going to chuck a bit extra in. Don't go nuts about it, but any particularly big stems, best to get out of the way. Coriander doesn't particularly grow thicker stems. Anyone that was anyone that follows me on Instagram, which should be all of you, I'll put the link in the description. Follow my Instagram if you want to see tasty, tasty treats all the time, and me being an idiot. Right now I had like a little herb garden going on my window ledge in my spare room because I live in London. I haven't got any garden space. But while I was in Cornwall, the heat wave saw that off, and I might just be able to save the thyme and the parsley, but the coriander's gone, which is ironic because you'd think the coriander would like the heat the most. Right, mint. Same again, same sort of size as the coriander. A little bit more than that. You kind of want to make sure the mint is quite decently minced, sliced, chopped, diced, walloped down to small size, only because it is quite a strong flavour and you don't want a mouthful of mint and nothing else, otherwise it will taste like you're brushing your teeth. Might put a bit too much mint in there, but we'll see. Now all this bad boy needs, lemon. Now, give it a roll. But first we're going to zest it. So, get your microplane out, which I know you've got. If you haven't got one, put a link to a decent one on Amazon. Essentially, it's just a very fine grater. Nutmeg, Bosch, zest, lemon, lime, orange, anything like that. Zest it with these. You can grate garlic and ginger on these. You should have one of these, right? Essentially, it's just a small grater. If all you've got is a grater, the fine stuff will do the trick, but you can see the holes are just like half again as small. Parmesan as well with hard cheeses, yeah. Bit of lemon zest, so just gently. You don't want the pith, you just want the zest. The very top layer. And as you're grating it, you'll smell it, because that is, where there's so much of that lemon flavour it's an oil, and it will just aerosolizes into the air and you can smell it. Zest your lemons before you juice your lemons, because otherwise you've got nothing to hold on to. And also make sure you've got unwaxed lemons. Right. Like that in the bowl. And the juice of a lemon. Now, if you give it a roll, it kind of tenderises the insides. I've not actually used this before, I don't know if it's juice. Right, I'm going to do half a lemon, juice of half a lemon. I'm going to mix it together, see what it tastes like first. Now, couscous, fork. When you've cooked it, fluff it up with a fork. A spoon will make it clump. If you mash it, give it a toss with your fork, it breaks up the kernels. I don't know what they're called, the individual pearls. Right, whack in all of our veg. You're going to want a decently heavy pinch of salt, because that couscous is going to need seasoning. So we haven't seasoned the couscous yet. And now you've got the onion and garlic. Got a bit of onion and garlic, onion and chilli. But whack a bit of pepper in there as well. And stir it all through. See that lovely, vibrant colours, fresh flavours. You've got a bit of bite from the chilli, a bit of bite from the red onion, freshness from that mint and the cucumber and the parsley, and that coriander, just sweetness from the coriander and the lot of sweetness from that tomato. And then that lemon zest just cutting through everything, bringing it all together. Tell me that doesn't look absolutely gorgeous. Give it a taste. That's fine. Definitely doesn't need that other half of a lemon. This is the sort of thing as well. It'll keep for 2 or 3 days. Gorgeous. It'll keep for 2 or 3 days. Maybe a little bit longer actually if you keep it in the fridge. But it's got like this sweet spot where right now it's gorgeous. In about 3 hours time it's going to be beautiful, because all of those flavours would have just merged up a bit. But once you go past that 3, 4 hour, 5 hour mark, the fresh herbs and the lemon are going to start losing their freshness. So, but this is a great, I would eat this on its own for lunch. Beautiful. Especially this time of year when it's really hot. It's lovely and fresh. Not a lot of work. It takes a bit of time to just chop everything up right, take your time with that, but have a bit of fun with it. But I did it the other day as part of a meal with my girlfriend. I took everything out to the outside table in the garden and I just sat there chopping it in because it was a lovely sunny day. Just, yeah. So, bush. Don't even know what it's called. I'm gonna have to think up a name for it in for the YouTube title. But nice, fresh, lively, zesty, peppy, bit of a bite, spicy couscous thing. Like I said, loads of people on my Instagram are asking for it. There's a bit of parsley there. Yeah, everyone on my Instagram, not everyone, but loads of people on my Instagram are asking for it. So there it is. Bosh. Follow me, follow my Instagram, because you'll see stuff like this firsthand, and you can ask me what you want. Subscribe, comment, like, do all of that jazz. And yeah, with a bit of luck, I'll start getting a few more videos out now that I'm back home again. But I've got a few bits and pieces coming up and some other projects that I'm working on. Right, yeah. Anyway, bosh. See you around. Be good. Can't be good. Be lucky. Be lucky. Tosser.